Thank you all for coming this evening. We're all very excited to celebrate with you. We will begin the ceremony soon, but before we do, I'd like to introduce a very important group of people. These people dedicate countless hours to your children. They have their best interests at heart. They love and care for them each day throughout the school year, and they're very proud of your students' success. Please give a round of applause to the 2018-19 PACT Charter School staff. excited to celebrate with you tonight. I'm Josh Nyquist, the Principal of Building Operations at PACT Charter School, and of course this is a very special evening for all of us. And I'm very excited to honor these students for their hard work and their promise of a wonderful future. We have so many amazing students in this class and many leaders who I'm proud to say exemplify our character traits very well. And we're happy to send them out into the world. At this time, I'd like to introduce our Executive Director. Please welcome Dr. Emily Murtis.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2019 PACT Charter School graduation. We've been looking forward to this night all year long and could not be more excited. Tonight, students, we celebrate your academic accomplishments and character development. Parents, families, and friends, tonight, we celebrate your support and years of care for your students' success. Graduation is a wonderful display of the partnership between all PACT stakeholders for many years. Our staff and families have worked hard, and our students have worked hard. We are very proud of you graduates and look forward to your future and many opportunities to impact the lives of those around you. Speaking on behalf of the PACT staff, we are honored to say, today, you are PACT graduates, and we are delighted with you.
At this time, please rise for the national anthem sung by our concert choir, directed by Mrs. Michaela Berg.
And bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so carelessly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled
Our first student speaker has attended PACT since kindergarten. Teachers describe him as insightful, witty, conscientious, and polite. He's been an accomplished member of the robotics team for many years. Please welcome the class of 2019 salutatorian, Benjamin Swenson.
Well, how are you all doing tonight? Good. I was thinking a lot about what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I figured out pretty quick that I didn't want to talk about the things that everyone talks about in their grad speeches. You know, the where we've been, where we're going, and what it all means. I didn't quite feel qualified to do that because I'm like 18 years old. I don't know where we're going or what it means. I have a hard time just remembering what day of the week it is. Even though I'm legally an adult, I'm still very much a kid. I believe the technical term is man-child. But that got me to thinking, there's probably going to be some man-children in the audience tonight. Can all of my man-children just raise their hands? Thank you. You're all very brave. I figured there's going to be at least like 50 man-children up on stage, so. Instead of doing that, I figured that I'm going to compile a list of the do's and, more importantly, the don'ts of adulthood and maturity. And so I spent multiple hours researching this topic. And now I'm going to share my findings with you so that you might become a little more adult. And this information is going to be quizzed, so take notes. On the topic of laundry and clothing, item number 1. Turning your socks inside out and wearing them for a second day doesn't count as wearing a new pair of socks. Item 2. Just because your clothes don't smell to you doesn't mean other people can't tell that you haven't done laundry in 2 weeks. Item number 3. That old white tank top that you have with the coffee stain down the stomach doesn't count as casual clothing. It hardly counts as clothing. Please throw it out. On the topic of hygiene, item number 1. Brushing your teeth isn't some conspiracy created by dentists. There's a reason people lean away when they're talking to you. Item 2. Just because humans went for thousands of years without wearing deodorant doesn't give you the right to live in the Stone Age by not wearing it. You're not a Neanderthal. Item number 3. Whether people know that you do or don't wash your hands doesn't change the fact that you were the one who spread E. coli to all your friends. On the topic of food and cooking, number 1, just because saying something is non-toxic doesn't mean that you should put it in your mouth. Item 2, while yes, you can technically eat ramen noodles dry, it's also true that it's incredibly sad. It takes like 2 minutes to cook. Item number 3, despite both products being made from tomatoes, ketchup and marinara sauce are not interchangeable. And finally, on the topic of family, number 1, call your mom. Number 2, listen, I know that your uncle is weird, and he's been alienated from the family ever since he tried to teach you Klingon as a native language. But he's actually pretty nice. So maybe next time he asks you to go on one of his Sasquatch hunts, you should take him up on it. And finally, item number 3, call your mother again. This completes my findings. This is an incredibly powerful list. So I urge you to take this and go out into the world and become a little bit more of an adult and maybe just a little bit less of a man-child. Thank you.
Our next student speaker has attended PACT since 6th grade. Teachers describe him as dedicated, generous, and helpful. He's been an active member of the baseball team and has had a passion for being involved in our school and working to make it better. He's also been our student council president and president of the National Honor Society. Please welcome Noah Berglund.
Good evening, class of 2019, staff, educators, school board members, administration, parents, and valued guests. As our commencement is the capstone of these amazing years, being selected to speak to you is quite an honor. Tonight, I am not speaking to you as that new scared 6th grade student that entered into Miss Arendu's 6th grade class in mid-September. I came to PACT to try it, as my mom would say. I tried it, believing that it would not work out, and that I would go back to my old school. Mrs. Arendu welcomed me with that inviting smile and created excitement just as much for me as it was for the other students, that a kid was starting in the middle of the school year. I was told that just never happens. Come to find out, it rarely did. Thank you, Mrs. Arendu, for making my transition into PACT a great one. The next year came, and true to my mom's word, she asked if I wanted to return to my old school. I know she asked holding her breath, and I'm sure she was relieved when I said I wanted to stay at PACT. PACT was founded on several character traits that we as a community celebrate throughout the school. Although I hold myself to the very high standards of these traits, I feel that my strongest trait is gratitude. You see, I could have gone back to my old school. What I did not expect that first year was that PACT would become my school, a place that I truly cared about, a place where the teachers would give us such confidence, a place where the teachers would give us such guidance. That PACT would give each of us such unique opportunities So today I stand before you as a young adult that is so very different from the person I would have been had I returned to my old school. Because PACT teachers and staff have given us the tools to determine who we are, it has gotten us to where we are. I would have been just another student in my 400 plus size class at my old school, but instead I was welcomed and encouraged. I was taught that the limits only end where I choose them. I also learned that I had way more homework than I did at my old school. I found myself running for student council and was elected by you to represent the student body. After that, I was voted to be your president. I take pride in what has been accomplished during my tenure as your president. While serving on student council, I had the distinct pleasure to work with the students here at PACT and to represent them in many ways, whether it be at school or on behalf of PACT at the state capitol for charter school days, or most recently at a leadership conference. I was happy to do so and did it with the best of my ability. Planning and running activities, including Pep Fest, the 3 dances throughout the school year, and our community-supported Adopt a Family program. Powder Tough and Powder Tough, the annual dodgeball tournament, and supporting the dance team with buses to state the last few years. Woo woo. In addition, rewriting and advocating changes to policies while working side by side with school administration, committees, and the school board. Together with the council, we were successful on 2 major projects. First, we were able to have our voice heard at the monthly board meetings by being placed as a part of their agenda. Equally important, and my biggest accomplishment, was the beginning of many changes PACT would see in the next couple years. We began by painting the old tan poles and railings with the fresh showstopper red to support our school colors throughout the building. I will never forget the bright eyes and excited faces of elementary and secondary students at open house when they saw it for the first time and realized we are now sporting our school colors. Thank you, Mrs. Whitby, for your leadership and guidance. It has not gone unnoticed. Thank you also to the supporting student council for all of your hard work and support throughout the years. Because of what was taught to me at PACT, I became a member of the National Honor Society and eventually PACT's chapter president. Collectively, our chapter has successfully run blood drives, baked cookies for hospital workers, emergency personnel, and our staff members. We provided our teachers with coffee, cocoa, and cider carts, which they've enjoyed a lot. We participated in 2 radiothons to help fight childhood cancer, including one with the record-breaking first day donations. And we've run Kids Care Nights. For the first time this year, we participated in the St. Jude Red Carpet Gala, as well as cooking and serving a meal at the Ronald McDonald House at Minneapolis Children's Hospital. Individually, we've logged over 1,500 plus service hours in our community, and that doesn't count our group service projects. Thank you, NHS students alike, for your support the last few years. Although there are many teachers I could stand up here and thank, I want to thank Ms. Rupert for her kindness, support, and patience. Every accomplishment begins with a decision to try.